Alright, I'll just start off straight away. There's a difference between being depressed and being addicted to feeling like a victim. And no one wants to say it out loud, but before we jump into this conversation, I am Zaif, just a regular guy. Welcome to my digital diary where I post anything I want, really, whatever I feel like. So treat me like a friend or an older brother. This unscripted, I've just got some of my notes here. You probably see it through my glasses of reflection. I'm a new creator, and as you can probably see, it's just me and my phone right now. So sub up for the come up. There isn't really a structure to this video, just me laying out my thoughts. Hopefully you can take something away from this, and hopefully something helps. So like, just to kind of get into it, it's not all about crying in bed or being visibly sad. That's not what depression is. Sometimes the scariest part of it all is feeling nothing at all. No motivation, no excitement, not even pain, just emptiness. So I know that kind of hits hard, right? You wake up and don't even feel like a person anymore. You just exist. You're alive, but you're not living. You stop laughing the way you used to. Your favorite music doesn't hit at all anymore. Food is just fuel. Time feels slow and fast at the same time. And you slowly pull away from people, your routine, from yourself. So look, I'm keeping this uncut and just pure and raw. And hopefully, like I said, it reaches out to some of you. Think of me as your older brother, a friend, whatever helps. Here's the worst part. You want someone to notice, but when they do, you push them away. You want to talk about it, but you can't find the words. You smile, but you fake it, because you don't want to be a burden. You lie to yourself. You're dying for someone to really ask how you're doing and mean it, but when they do ask and you explain it, you feel like no one can relate. And over time, you start telling yourself, maybe this is just who I am. And that's a lie. It's what keeps you stuck. Real depression doesn't always look dramatic. It's brushing your teeth at 5 p.m. for the first time that day and calling it a win. It's saying, I'm just tired for the 10th time. But knowing deep down you're not just tired, you're exhausted in a way rest can't fix. The rest can't fix. Bear with me, guys. This is me just laying out my inner monologue. If you've ever felt any of that, you're not alone. You're not broken either. So like, but what I want to also cover is kind of going into the next part is a lot of people fake it. A lot of people fake being depressed. There's this trend where it's cool to be anxious, it's cool to be depressed, when it's maybe just sadness, it's not real depression. Like, let's be real for a second. There's a difference between struggling with depression and making it your whole personality and it being revolved around being the victim. When struggle becomes identity, it's like somewhere along the way we stop trying to heal and start branding our pain like it's a lifestyle. You scroll online and it's just, that's all it is. It's mental instability. You can't function without coffee and trauma. Me emotionally unavailable and proud. It's jokes, yeah, until you realize some people are building an identity out of being broken. And the dangerous comfort in chaos is that, well, this is an uncomfortable truth. Being the victim gives you an excuse. If you're always the one who's hurt, who's anxious, who's being wronged, you never have time to be accountable. You never have time to grow. It becomes comfortable. You get sympathy, you avoid responsibility, but you also stay stuck. And the longer you sit in it, the harder it is to remember who you were before the pain. But there's no shame. Like, look, I'm not saying everyone needs to be positive 24/7. Some of us are genuinely going through it, but there's a big difference between healing quietly and broadcasting your misery out to the masses. Like, you don't have to tweet your trauma daily. You don't have to say to your friends, oh, like, I'm fine, and using that 2 word so they instigate a conversation, they check up on you. And you don't have to constantly reach out in indirect ways. Pain isn't the whole story. What happened to us was real, the trauma is real, the breakdowns are real, but healing is also real. Growth is real. Getting better is possible, but not if you keep feeding the identity that you're helpless. Being the victim might explain why you're stuck, but it won't get you unstuck. Like, you're allowed to outgrow your pain. And I think a lot of people in this, like, forget, I'm sure you guys can see the other phone here, but forget that I'm turning it off now. It's just you and me. Look, I understand. Being in a situation where life feels like it's a constant loop of hell. It feels like you can't get out of it. You can't outrun it. It feels like nothing anyone ever says helps. I understand that. But it's also your habits. Like a lot of people, when they're depressed, they stay up at night scrolling, etc. What you're doing to yourself is you're ruining your sleep. When you ruin your sleep, it affects everything around you. I don't know the science behind it right now. You guys can do your research, but it does. And also, when you don't eat, it imbalances your hormones. All those things create mental instability. And on top of that, you on purpose go out of your way to listen to sad music, watch sad movies, scroll and repost sad stuff. And that subconsciously makes you more depressed than you actually are. You're not doing anything to actually get out of the position that you are in. I know I'm yapping a lot, I'm saying a lot. This is kind of, like I said, just a conversation between you and me. It's just me letting out random thoughts, me just saying what I think on the matter. And just think of it like you're just listening to your friend. But I want you to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I know that's a generic thing to say, but genuinely, there is. People say time heals all wounds, but they never mention that there are scars always left behind. But even then, scars fade over time. You just need to be patient with yourself and realize that if you truly want happiness, then you have to make the changes that make you happy, and that will make your younger self proud and your future self settle for a better outcome. So I know I've yapped again. It's been 7 minutes of yapping. Maybe I'll cut this down a little bit, whatnot. But I hope that something I've said in this is relatable to someone, and I hope that it reaches out to someone who can actually feel what I'm feeling. I've grown out of it. I'm doing so much better than I ever was, but it took a lot of effort, and without effort, there's no results. But anyways, guys, this was kind of like a rant, just a conversation. I'm probably going to get haters for this, but comment down and let's just start a conversation in the comments, like your experiences and how you've done things to make yourself feel better and what you're struggling with. Let's create a community, and this YouTube channel of mine is literally just random stuff, reacting to stuff, lifestyle, and as I grow and hopefully can reinvest back into this, it'll be more and more things. But this is essentially my second ever post. So stay blessed, don't give up. I've got faith in you. From your older brother. Take care of yourself. Bye.